And tonight, you can cut the anticipation with a knife. It's the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Sacramento Kings, here in the capital city of California. And there is the man of the hour in probably the most anticipated debut of any first-year athlete in any sport. LeBron James will put it on the floor for the first time in a regular season game tonight. Welcome, everybody. I'm Brad Nessler. We welcome Dan Marley to our ESPN, ABC, NBA crew. My other partner is Sean Elliott. Guys, you can talk all you want about this kid. He's still only 18 years and 8 months old. Can he live up to all the hype, Sean?
No one can live up to this type of hype that's been placed on this young man. But LeBron James, very composed. He's going to come out, and he's going to fulfill a lot of expectations tonight.
Dan, you look at this kid, and he seems to have all the poise in the world. It's not going to be easy on him, especially not in this arena, but he already has made Cleveland a different kind of team.
Yeah, mistake by the lake, no more. I mean, he has put Cleveland back on the map. These guys are excited to play. They're going to play in this type of atmosphere all year long. So LeBron James has already made this team better.
Let's take a look at the Bud Light starting lineups. And here's how they look. Up front, for the visiting Cavaliers, Ricky Davis, Carlos Boozer, and Ilgauskas at center. Stojakovic, Brad Miller, the newcomer, and Vlade Divac. And in the backcourt, Darius Miles and LeBron James, Doug Christie, and Mike Bibby. So the second half of our NBA Wednesday doubleheader on ESPN is set to go. Hugs all around. He'll get his indoctrination quick enough.
Yeah, hugs until that ball goes up, and then the chicken wings and elbows start flying.
I'm just glad we're getting this thing started because he had so many cameras in his face before this game. Now he's out there by himself and gets to play a little bit.
He couldn't even stretch before this game without about 15 cameras around it. Ron Garrettson, Benny Adams, Derek Richardson, our officials. Vlade Divac. Zydrunas Ilgauskas will jump. And it's Cleveland and Sacramento in their opener. And there's his first bounce in the backcourt. And there's our first whistle of the ball game.
Can we get his career underway?
Only took 10 seconds to stop it.
I thought we were going to have to watch 5 more minutes of the Knicks and the Magic.
I don't think the 24-second clock.
Nike commercial again. It just stops.
I'm waiting. Come on, let's get this thing over with.
Now they've got the 24-second clock and the game clock to mesh, and here we go. Christie on Davis on the outside. Ilgauskas trying to back in on Vlade Divac. And he walked with it.
I like the way they started, though, going into the big fella. He's going to be a key to their team. I know LeBron is the guy everybody's focusing on, but if he can stay healthy, Cleveland's going to be a much better team.
Oh, there's no question. Ilgauskas is easily one of the top centers in the East.
Last year he was an all-star center, and so was this guy, Brad Miller, transplanted over here from Indiana. So this is his new team. Bibby works it to Peja Stojakovic. Got it for three. That's the way you open up the game.
And that's what Sacramento does really well. They pass up the first open shot, swing it all the way around the weak side, and get to the best shooter on the floor.
Classic Kings basketball.
LeBron James at the point. There was a lot of speculation as to whether or not Paul Silas would use him in that capacity. In the preseason, they mixed things up a little bit, but he's the man that's running the show at the point. Here's the big fella on the baseline, Ilgauskas with a miss, and Christie the rebound.
Yeah, you're not going to see the ball go into LeBron a lot. Ilgauskas is going to be one of their main cogs on the offensive end. He's got tremendous footwork in the post area, and at 7'3" with that soft touch, he's an extremely difficult matchup.
Foul inside is on Carlos Boozer.
I wouldn't mind seeing LeBron get in the post, though. If they're going to have Bibby guarding him down there, there's such a decisive height advantage, so much stronger. They'll take him down the post and make a double team happen.
Yeah, even guys that have his size don't have his body. I mean, look at him. He's got the best body on the floor right now.
Vlade Divac crosses the paint, and he's fouled. It's 3-0 Sacramento as we go to Kevin Frazier in New York. Kevin. So the Kings with a lead. Christie with a left hand, partially blocked by Ilgauskas, and here comes LeBron James on the run. This is his best part of his game, and there's his first assist, and it's a beauty.
And that's what makes him so good, and that's where his skills are really going to blossom, because now he's able to throw those passes to players that are going to finish, and he starts it with a strong rebound.
Stojakovic gives it right back to Vlade. Baseline. Good give and go from Stojakovic to Vlade Divac. 5-2 Sacramento for the first couple of minutes. Davis trying to back in on Christie. Missed the shot over him. Miller will clear it off.
That's what Miller's going to bring to the Sacramento team. He's a big, tough guy. Likes to get in there, set picks, board, and make good plays for his teammates to get open.
Christie off the pass from Bibby.
Yeah, beautiful penetration and pitch by Mike Bibby. Excellent penetrator, and you know when he penetrates that lane, the Sacramento Kings are going to spread out the perimeter.
Darius Miles gives it right back. Carlos Boozer on the outside. He buries it.
I really like Boozer's game. I watched him a little bit last year, and it seems like he's just a guy who goes down there, works hard, able to step out, hit the 15-footer, but I really like the way he's progressing.
He was in the top 8 in 4 major categories among rookies a year ago, including 8th in scoring. Here's Stojakovic. Misses this 3, and there's nothing but wine-colored jerseys around there, and it'll be Ricky Davis who'll bring it up.
It's very apparent when you look at the Cavs team that they have athletes in numbers.
LeBron James' first shot is good.
And that's good to see because during the preseason, he wasn't able to hit those kind of jumpers. And for him to be able to consistently hit the jumper, it's going to allow him to be able to have the defensive guy come up onto him so he can use his strength and drive by him.
Boozer blocks Bibby, but it comes back to him. He gets it outside to Christie, and now Miller keeps it alive. Right back to Bibby against the big guy and scores.
A nice finish by Bibby. What I really liked on that possession is I like the way the Cavs are playing defense on the perimeter. That time Miles is not giving you an open jump shot. He's running at shooters. They're using their athletic ability on the perimeter.
Boozer in the low box over Miller. Got it. Nice shot.
Boozer's a nice young player, just like Dan said. We talked about a guy who goes to Duke University, comes out, he's a little bit more polished, even though he's still only 21 years old.
Bibby, open jumper, and Bibby knocks down his second field goal.
And that's one thing he does really well is coming off a pick, setting his feet, and able to hit that shot. So Bibby's going to have a good year here for Sacramento to do the things that they want to do.
James around a pick, double team, and LeBron on the baseline. 2 for 2. Well, that's a great start, guys.
I tell you what, I know people are talking, that he can't shoot a jumper. He can score. He knows how to play the game. He's going to put the ball in the bucket.
Vlade a chance for a 3-point play and a great dish from Bibby.
Well, I think the biggest thing for LeBron is most high school kids who come into the league do not have the body that he has. So he can get down there in the 15-foot range, get in there, get a shot off. He elevates so well he can shoot that shot. And here he's just going to overpower, get a nice little pick, and make the shot. If he can take those shots, he's going to be very successful.
Same exact shot, only different baseline. And now Divac with a chance for the 3-point play and got it.
But what I really liked on those first 2 buckets by LeBron is the way he's able to hesitate. Most young players, you got to tell them, you can't go one speed. You got to shift gears, keep your defensive player off balance.
Miles on the miss. Miller, the outlet. Page trying to run it down and can't. And Sacramento turns it over for the first time. Chris Webber, who will miss all of November, and they're not quite sure how far into December after knee surgery in June. He's missed 43 games in the last 2 years, and boy, they're a really good team when he's out there. And they know that they have to win games and survive until he gets back, and they're just not quite sure how long it's going to be. Oh, way off balance over a 7-footer, and he knocked it down. James is 3 for 3. Blocked shot as Miller goes down hard. Well, so much for he can't shoot from the outside. At least tonight he can so far in the first quarter. Watch this thing.
Yeah, this is going to be as hard as he gets. He gets Miller switched on him. He just fades away into the corner, nothing but net. The thing Cleveland's got to do a better job is get back. There's a couple opportunities where Sacramento's running on even made shots, and nobody's getting back and they're getting easy layups.
Bibby, likewise, with 6. He and James each with 6 points to lead in scoring.
Well, Sacramento's as good as any team in this league at taking the ball out of the bucket and running it right back at you.
Miller, nice overplay, almost got the steal, and now Boozer back on top. 5 on the shot clock. LeBron James trying to go 4 for 4, and Christie, first team all defensive player, blocked it. He'll get it on the outlet on the other end.
And that may be just show you what a little bit of a difference from high school and NBA is. I mean, he got that shot off all the time in high school. When you got somebody like Christie, who is one of the better defenders in the league, he's going to stop that shot.
Yeah, you can bet nobody was blocking his shot last year.
I doubt that. I don't think he was in an arena in Ohio that had this many crazy fans either. Miles hits his shot, and back comes Bibby in a hurry. Peja, great pass from Vlade Divac.
That ball movement is outstanding. When you have guys that are constantly moving without the basketball, they pass, they do not stand. They pass and move.
With Divac and Miller, and then when Chris Webber comes back. Stojakovic from Bibby's feed. Are you kidding me? Bibby almost landed in our lap and still got the pass down court.
I couldn't tell. I was underneath the table. I don't need the contact right now.
What a start for Sacramento. What a start for LeBron James. 5:27 remaining first quarter. LeBron James, 7 minutes, 6 points. Been pretty impressive so far, guys.
Well, he's done a great job. I mean, he's showed that he can shoot off the dribble. He's taken some tough fadeaways and doing well. For, you know, obviously for his first start, he's come out and he's been very aggressive and kept himself in control.
Paul Silas is 9th year as head coach, last 5 with the Charlotte/New Orleans Hornets. It seems to be the perfect guy to coach LeBron James, at least so far.
Because he comes every day with a positive attitude. He's not going to kill his confidence.
And if you don't listen to him, he may kill you.
That's true. He's got just the size and body to do it, yeah.
Yeah, if you're a player, you have to listen to Paul Silas because you don't tower over him. He's got big, monstrous hands, and you can tell, you're looking at him, he's still a strong man. So what he says goes.
Well, I read a quote from him. He said that everybody had a job to do, excuse me, and his job was to come every day and whoop some butt. So.
So far, they haven't had any run-ins at all. He says he expects that that's going to happen as soon as LeBron doesn't hit the open man on a break. He said, I'll let him know. Ilgauskas got 1 of 2. And Stojakovic the rebound. So the Kings' biggest lead was right before the break at 8. Now 22-15 with just over 5 to go first quarter.
Well, the way I like the Kings are playing is they got 9 assists and their 10 first field goals. They don't care who scores. Whoever gets the open, whoever's open is going to get the open shot and get the pass. And there you see Stojakovic making a nice cut to basket and a perfect bounce pass for an easy left-handed layup.
LeBron coming the other way off the glass, and he's 4 for 5.
Yeah, see, he doesn't need his jumper there when he can float through the lane, double pump, and knock it in off the glass.
Oh, boy, Stojakovic is in a zone. Doesn't matter if it's inside or outside. Now his second 3.
I tell you what, Brad, when you're playing the Kings, your philosophy has to be, when in doubt, run back on defense.
There's the first maybe poor shot as he faded away. The outside jumper. Christie trying to get by Boozer and does. Boy, Christie with a big-time offensive start. Kings have hit their last 7 shots, and they lead by 12.
And that's a mistake that young teams make. That time, Christie had 2 guys on him, and they both allowed him to get to the bucket.
Davis runs right into his own screen. Turnover, and Bibby comes the other way. The dish to Miller.
Kings are really showing the Cavs how you need to get out and run. Even on made baskets, on turnovers, they're heading to the basket. They're going straight to it. And the Cavs aren't doing a very good job of getting back at all.
So the lead swells to 14. And the Kings not just on a run, but they haven't missed their last 8.
Well, you're not going to miss when you're shooting layups.
That's for sure. Whistle and a foul on the baseline. It'll be on Stojakovic. That'll be Peja's first.
And that's another thing when you talk about young teams. You could talk about college teams, NBA teams. Young teams really don't understand the importance of defense and getting back on defense. And usually when you have a bunch of young guys, their transition defense suffers. Everybody runs downhill when you're going on the offensive end, but on the defensive end, it's an uphill climb every time.
Ilgauskas hits the outside jumper. 3 for him. 31-19. Bibby trying to dish to Divac. Vlade wasn't ready, and LeBron James brings it down 3-on-2. There's the dish to Boozer.
There's just a glimpse of what kind of court presence, the way he can pass the ball. He did a little a la Magic coming down and gave a look one way and passed to a perfect Boozer for a dunk.
Here he comes the other way. There's your first James jam of his career. Whoa.
He's not disappointing me, I'm telling you right now.
He's got 10.
I mean, all the hype, I didn't know what to expect, but he knows how to play passing lanes. This guy knows in the open floor, he has tremendous court awareness.
Here he comes again. This time he dishes to his trailer, Davis. How about that?
Can I stand up and light a match? This is getting out of control.
There has been no disappointment in LeBron James opening 9.5 minutes. He has 10 points. He just tomahawk chopped one 2 times ago down court. This on a breakaway, part of his 10-point first quarter. That's not all he's done, though. The next time down court, he waited for his trailing teammate, Ricky Davis. Watch this one. Waits, dishes, the dime. Wow, what a start. And the Kings are ahead, by the way. It's 31-25. Brad Nessler, Dan Marley, Sean Elliott, and our ESPN crew. The second half of our doubleheader on NBA Wednesday. And he started off strong. He told us he expected to be nervous the first couple trips down court. It didn't take him too long, fellas.
No, I said he was going to struggle with a jump shot, and I couldn't have been more wrong. He's doing a good job of just taking his time, finding the open area, hit 2 tough jump shots there. And this one just shows how athletic he is. He's got a taller Brad Miller on, fades away in the corner, and nothing but net.
I tell you what, I have a new favorite player. I make no bones about it. This young man can play the game. I'm really impressed. I mean, the dunks. I tell you, the play that really epitomizes the way he plays the most. Stopping here at the free throw line, dropping it off to Ricky Davis. How many kids at 18 years old in the spotlight with all the hype on him are going to take that ball in and dunk it? Instead, he stops, gives it to his teammate. That really feeds that camaraderie.
Here's the one that we're talking about.
I just think that tells you what kind of player he is. He's set off preseason. All he wants to do is make his teammates better, and he wants to help win games. And to do that, that's the kind of things the point guards do. So at 18 years old, he's showing what kind of leader he is.
This has been an amazing game so far, and that Sacramento has gone and hit 8 straight shots at one point, ran out to a 14-point lead. But then James and the James gang have come back to cut it to 6. Fourth man, I should say, on our broadcast team is Jim Gray. Let's check in with Jim.
All right, Brad, thank you very much. I spoke to LeBron James just before the start of this game and tip-off. He told me that this is what he has been dreaming of since he was in the 5th grade, and it was everything and more. He also said this is much different than any high school or preseason game he's been to. He said even in a preseason, he hasn't been to a place where this many people are against him. Did a very famous commercial here. It's already become famous. He did it in the preseason. He kind of kidded with us before the game. He said, I hope I don't freeze up. Well, he's certainly been everything except for frozen out on the court here in the first quarter. Brad?
Really only taken one bad shot, and that was with the shot clock winding down. Had to take it, and Doug Christie blocked it. Other than that, he's been almost perfect.
You mean, Sean, I'm not your favorite player anymore?
But you used to be until you started elbowing me and
that hurts.
Throwing that wing out there when I was trying to drive down the lane.
He's still winging you here at the table. 31-25 Sacramento. Look at the field goal shooting of the Kings especially. And at one point, they had assists on all but 2 of their shots. Only 3 turnovers by each team. Quite a start in this first quarter.
Well, the Kings are doing a good job of moving the ball. They're moving back cuts. They're taking good picks and hitting the wide open shots, so that the Cavaliers have to do a better job of controlling their men.
Tony Massenberg, the dish to Stojakovic, and Peja doesn't have to worry about the 3-point line. He's got 4 easy baskets and 2 outside the arc. He leads everybody.
Well, you can't fall asleep on defense when you're playing against the Kings. In transition, you got to get back, and when the ball's on the opposite side, you can't fall asleep.
LeBron James, you can see a little indecision that time, but he got it back and put it in.
And that's where his size is really going to help him. He's 6'8", 240. He can get down there. He can go crash the boards. He's usually going to be playing against smaller guys.
He's got 12. Stojakovic leads all scorers with 14. Here's Mr. Instant Offense. Bobby Jackson, who just came off the bench, and he's fouled as he penetrates inside. Ilgauskas picks up his second.
So here he comes off the screen and kind of hesitates a little bit, throws off a shot, but as any good player does, he goes right back to the boards and gets the ball back and lays it in.
Does a nice job of staying in the play on that possession.
That last foul is on Bremer, not Ilgauskas, as Jackson will go to the free throw line.
Well, you call Jackson instant offense. He's instant everything.
Yep.
Instant energy, defense. He really electrifies the crowd and his teammates when he steps on the court.
Talk about somebody who can electrify this crowd is this young kid right here. He's going to come. I saw one dunk in the preseason where he went up and was head level on the rim. So this guy could be a very exciting player for the Kings this year.
Well, Wallace is who Dan's talking about, who just tapped in as Bobby Jackson hits both free throws. 35-27 with a minute 40 to go first quarter. Now LeBron away from the point, trying to run the baseline with Wallace on him. 21-year-old against an 18-year-old.
That shows you his versatility. Not only can he run that point, but he can run off screens as well.
Carlos Boozer tried to hammer that off the glass, and Tony Massenberg takes down the rebound. Jackson, nice crossover dribble, and almost got the open shot. Lottie the dish to Jackson. If there's a better passer as a big man, there aren't too many around better than that.
I just love watching these guys play. They make the right cuts and they make the passes. It's just fun to watch them play.
Again, when your man has the ball, or when the ball's away from you with the Kings, you cannot fall asleep. You got to see man and ball, or you're going to get burned.
Under a minute in the quarter, ball stripped by Wallace, but he'll pick up the foul. The Kings lead by 10. They've hit their last 10 shots. Rick Adelman's got to be loving that.
Again, most of them are layups. He had a few outside shots by Stojakovic, but other than that, it's really a matter of the Kings giving up the ball, cutting to the bucket, and you have excellent passing big men that are just dropping dimes.
Well, it's like what you said, Sean. It's mainly on the weak side. I think guys are losing sight of their men, and once they do in this league, these guys are too quick and too strong. If they get a step on you, they're going to get to the basket.
And they're too smart.
I don't know about that.
Ilgauskas got them both. He has 5. Those two starters, Christie and Bibby, getting a breather with Wallace and Jackson out there in their stead. We're down to final 45 seconds to the quarter. 76% from the floor. There's the backdoor cut again. This one's blocked by Boozer. They're looking for a goaltending and don't get it.
Again, you get beat on another backdoor cut.
And Bremer drops in a through.
Bremer is a nice point guard. Played for the Celtics last year. Did a nice job for them at that position. He has three-point range, and he can fill them up in bunches.
Tell you what, you're playing against a team that shoots 75% from the field for a quarter, and you're only down 5. You'll take it. And the rebound off to Wallace. And the last shot should be Sacramento.
That's their first missed shot besides that goaltend on the other possession. A long contested outside jumper.
Final 4 seconds. Vlade's shot goes. Divac with 7. Last shot is James, and he hits the glass.
I wouldn't have been surprised if he made that.
I wouldn't have either. Everything else seemed to work for both teams. Great opening quarter. 39-32 Sacramento. We asked him yesterday just when he knew that he was something special.
Around 14 years old. 4 years ago, which is not too long ago. You know, I just seen my game start to elevate, you know, beyond some other kids I was playing with. And I knew that I could make this a dream, you know, because I just love to do it. There's nothing else that I wanted to do, is to be in the gym.
What does that put it in perspective? That's 4 years ago. Most kids are their last year of middle school when he said, you know, I knew I was better than everybody else kind of at that point. He's almost better than everybody else on the court here in the opening 12 minutes.
Well, he showed that. I mean, he shot 6 for 10. He had 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals. So he's doing a little bit of everything for this team.
Sacramento turns it over for the 5th time. Kings shot 75% from the floor in the first quarter, and they're only up by 7. Kevin Ollie now is in running the point. Bremer with a fadeaway 18-footer off the front, and Massenberg's got a second rebound. And LeBron with a steal, and
I was under the table again.
You were. You spent a lot of time under there.
I got 4 kids. I can't throw my body around like that.
You got to take
anymore.
a charge once in a while.
Sean was ducking too, though.
I was moving,
buddy.
We had 2 of our camera people ducking. I know that much. Because LeBron was coming this fast. Look out!
And I tell you what, 6'8", 240, and he's lightning quick. He's playing those passing lanes. You think you can make that pass, and he's there.
Stojakovic takes one over James and buries it. Peja's got 16.
If James gets stuck on him all night, he's not going to find a harder guy to guard than Steban. I mean, that guy can get out and get a shot off of anybody.
Yeah, if you're not ready to play and you don't know what you're doing, Stojakovic is going to burn you.
Boozer will try a fadeaway on the baseline. Miller and Jop go up together. And Jop gets the foul. He just checked in.
Don't take him out. Keep him in for 48.
And Boozer both sit down.
I mean, the excitement level in the arena just drops when he goes to the bench.
You can actually hear us talk now.
Yeah, exactly. He's on the opposing team.
Going to be a whistle and a foul on Kevin Ollie. Let's check in with Jim.
Hey, Brad, when we were talking to LeBron James yesterday in the interview session, it was really interesting. I asked him what was the weakest part of his game. He said, when I'm on the bench, not playing. We all cracked up.
Yeah, that was a great line.
I agree. Please put him back out there. I want to see some more of those steals, those high-flying dunks.
Jackson misses outside. Ollie with a rebound. Ollie, Jop, Miles, Mim, and Bremer on the court. Bobby Jackson with a steal, going coast to coast.
That's an awfully long pass to make cross-court when you have Mike Bibby and Bobby Jackson just lurking around. They're ready to pick off any ball you throw.
Well, you can see that the Cavs are the youngest team in this league. They make a lot of stupid mistakes, and they're going to get a lot better. But right now, they got some fundamentals to work on.
Jop this time does get the rebound over everybody, and he's fouled.
You got to know when you play against the Kings, they're a tremendous open court team. You cannot make a 20-foot pass that's lazy, especially when you have Bobby Jackson, Mr. Energy, Mr. Offense, the spark plug for the Kings.
10 minutes remaining in the half, an 11-point Kings lead. Here's Jop against Massenberg. And he got it blocked by Tony. Got it back. Try the left hand. Mim with a follow.
You see all those young legs, like pogo sticks down there. Jop gets his shot block. He's throwing it back up. Guys are all over the glass. That's the youth.
Kings at home by 9 in their opener. Team that won 120 games over the last 2 years. Again, playing without Chris Webber. If you're just joining us, he'll be out at least another month, maybe longer. Recovering from knee surgery. He was in the arena tonight, picked up a microphone after, or rather before, the starting lineups, and thanked the Arco Arena crowd for being the greatest fans in the world, and that drew a huge ovation. There's Chris, who went down in the playoffs a year ago. A very disappointing finish for the Kings because of that. Not that you can say that they would have continued on, but they certainly would have had a better crack with that guy in the lineup.
Can you imagine this team with a healthy Chris Webber, the way they get out and run with Brad Miller, the versatility that they have? I personally believe they don't have as much depth, but they still are extremely talented.
9:12 remaining in the half. Think you've got the lowdown on this year's rookie class. You can pick your weekly lineup of first-year starters in Fantasy NBA. The rookies, the new game, only on NBA.com. Not only with Chris Webber when he's in there, but we were talking with Rick Adelman about the fact that Brad Miller's a better passer than even he anticipated. And we've already seen what Vlade Divac can do and what he's done over his career as a passer. You get those three guys, you have three of the best passing big men in all of basketball.
Yeah, he said it's actually scary. If all three of those guys are healthy, it doesn't matter who's out there, because Vlade's a good passer. Brad Miller is a much better passer than they thought. And then Chris Webber can do whatever he wants out there. He consistently hits the open side jumper, and then he can take it to the basket.
Miles a nice dish, and Jop with the drop, but it's 43-36.
Darius Miles that time with a nice little penetration. Saw the help come up, was able to drop it off to Jop, who does the right thing. You always want your big man to finish strong.
Bibby over Ollie. Mike Bibby shooting very well. He's got 8.
He shoots the ball so consistently because he spends so much time in the gym. He's a gym rat, one of the better shooting point guards in this league.
He was on Team USA down in Puerto Rico, and people said, you know, are you wasting your summer here? We know that you're proud to be on this team. He said, hey, man, if I wasn't out here, I'd be at home working out and shooting anyway. So I might as well wear the red, white, and blue. Bibby again.
I'm going to tell you what, if I'm a Bibby or a Stage out or anybody. I love playing with Brad Miller. I've been watching the last couple times. Every time he comes down the floor, he's looking for somebody to set a pick for. And those last two replays or plays were directly off the picks that he set for his teammates.
Oh, you have to love that. Loving those big bodies come out and get you an open jumper.
Mim, deep fadeaway. Jop lost it to Bobby Jackson. Jackson looking to push it. Runs into Miles.
So even now, when you see the guys, like you say, in the wine-colored jerseys coming down, they've all got to locate ball and man.
And there's Miller as he can hit it from the outside.
Another good play. Cleveland tried to push that pick and roll at the baseline. Bibby took it. Miller stepped back and got him an easy pass for the 15-footer.
Job spinning inside, lost the handle again, and it's Miller that comes up with it. And has to call a timeout. Didn't want to travel. All right, Kevin, as Gerald Wallace goes to the rack, drew a foul.
Chris Mim came out of nowhere to make a spectacular block because Gerald Wallace tried to go top shelf. If he doesn't catch that ball, he hears about that for about a month.
Well, the Kings are doing a great job of exploiting maybe the Cavs' youthfulness, trying to get out and deny the ball. That time Brad Miller flashed up to the high post. He got a bounce pass. Wallace went back door, and like Sean said, was about to deliver a hard slam.
Gerald can give Sacramento its biggest lead if that free throw goes, but it doesn't. He gets one of two. They lead by 14. LeBron James back in there. The Kings lead increased by 4 points when he was on the bench. Went from 9 to 13.
And Brad, you look at LeBron now, and now he looks comfortable.
Yes, he does.
No more dry mouth, no jitters, because he knocks down his first couple shots, got those dunks going. Now he looks like a confident veteran player who's been out there for a while.
Picks up his second foul. There's his numbers so far. If you're just joining us, 3 assists, couple of rebounds, 12 points, all in quarter number 1.
But you know, you look at those assists, all the assists were spectacular. The alley-oop, the drop-off to Ricky Davis.
Bobby Jackson, the crossover, and knocks down the outside jumper.
Darius Miles may have left something on the floor after that.
I was about to say, pick that back up. Put it on.
Up to 16 goes the lead, 52-36.
The thing that's really impressing me about LeBron is he's not forcing any action. You know, for all the pressure that he's under, he's just trying to let the game come to him. He's not going out there trying to make wild shots or doing things he knows he can't do at this point.
Yeah, you would think that he would come out, try to force things, really try to make the spectacular plays, and he's just letting it flow, and everything's coming for him.
Ilgauskas will check back in, and Jop will go out. Ilgauskas, James, Mim, Davis, and Miles on the floor for Cleveland with 9 on the shot clock. LeBron James leaves it for Mim. Got it.
And that was an and one. Mim looked like he got hacked across his arm, but what about the court awareness, Dan? When you see a young player like that driving and dumping the ball off.
Well, he turned the corner trying to take it away the basket, and he saw that Mim's man had picked him up, and he made the right pass.
Bobby Jackson trying to hide behind Tony Massenberg, and he'll take it from deep. Rebound, LeBron James.
You see how he uses his body. Keep Wallace off the glass, control that board.
And Wallace bumps him en route to the hoop. Terrell Owens of the San Francisco 49ers. Dusty Baker, manager of the Cubs. A lot of luminary. Joe Morgan, our star of Sunday night baseball on ESPN. Jeff Garcia, quarterback of the 49ers. Jim Gray's with another star courtside. Jim.
All right, thank you very much. I'm with the man who said foe, foe, and foe when he won his 76ers championship in 1983. He was the first man to come out of high school to be an MVP in the NBA and win a championship with the 76ers. You were flown in specially here today by Nike to have a luncheon with LeBron James. How surprised was he, and what advice did you give him?
Well, you know, it was a big surprise. You know, I just told the guy to relax, don't worry about the pressure, enjoy yourself, because at that age, you know, it's going to be a good feeling. You know, he's doing the right thing. You know, he's playing well. You know, he's shooting the ball well. There's no pressure on the young guy. You know, I talked to him today for about a whole hour. There's no pressure on him at all.
coming out of high school, how difficult is the task? Has it gotten easier because the guys, so many have tried since you, or is it still a difficult task?
Oh, right now, it's much easier right now. You know, guys got 3 years to learn the ball game. When I came, you know, you didn't have 3 years to get to play. And right now, you know, these high school guys, well, they're good ball players. But, you know, LeBron James, he one of the special guys that can do it. You know, he got the talent. He know how to pass the ball. He know how to do the right thing to be a winner.
I want to ask you about the Kobe and Shaq situation, because you had to share a team with another superstar when you came to the 76ers and Julius Erving. How difficult is it to share a team when you're a superstar with another superstar?
Well, it's not different at all. One guy got to make a decision who's the man. Shaq and Kobe both is great ball players. So, you know, there's no problem with them. I think both of them guys just want to win. When you want to win, you might share a different idea, but both of them guys are great ball players, and they got players around them. Phil Jackson doing the right thing. He's going to keep the guys together. And Shaq and Kobe are always going to be there. Both of them are great ball players.
Moses, great to see you.
Thank you.
All right. Big surprise for LeBron. Back to you, Brad.
Thanks, fellas. 14-point game with a little over 5 to go in the half. The crowd reaction was the offensive foul called on Tony Massenberg. And the crowd reacted not only initially, but to the replay as well. And we get another look at it right here.
Nice pass here. You see that little wing, but it looked like he had 2 or 3 guys around him. It looked like he's trying to protect his body a little bit.
LeBron James has the ball. He leads the Cavs in points, assists, steals, and is tied in the rebounding department so far. First game. Vlade Divac comes up with a loose ball. Miller, the dish to Stojakovic. Boy, that baseline is wide open.
That's what we're talking about, running the offense through the big man. They're not only very talented, but they know how to find their guys back cutting. And Brad Miller has shown what a great passer he is.
Ilgauskas on the outside. Rebound comes off to Vlade. They were asking Brad Miller, or they've said about his game that it looks European. He said, you got to remember, before Europe, there was Indiana. Christie outside. Got it.
Well, when we talked to Brad earlier, he thought California was someplace in Europe. He had no idea where it was at.
Oh, he's a guy that would just as soon get on his ATV and go hunting as anything glamorous. That's why we said earlier he's not blue collar, he's flannel collar. But he's the kind of toughness that Sacramento likes. Can hit the elbow jumper. Good passer. Ilgauskas on the baseline will miss, but Boozer trying to tip it in. Christie comes out of there with it.
Now, Cleveland's doing a good job. They're just not making any shots. They're making the right passes, and they're just missing the puppies.
You see Brad Miller getting open underneath, and Doug Christie trying to deliver the ball. When you watch the Kings, just watch how many players touch the ball in the half-court set. It's not uncommon to see 4 guys get their hands on the ball.
They've cooled off to 69% from the floor. They have 18 assists already here in the first half. Vlade with a hook. Little too high off the box, and Boozer will clear it off. 3.5 to go in the half. It's an 18-point Kings lead, their biggest of the night. Cleveland needs some offense. They missed their last 6. Let's see if Davis can get it for him, and he does.
That's a guy who can get it really going for Cleveland. He's got a great, a bunch of talent. He's very quick first step. He can hit the outside shot. Fantastic leaper. So, after the year Ricky Davis had last year, I expect his confidence to be high and have another good year.
Ricky had a tremendous surge from 12 points to 21 points a game. Here's Bibby. Off Vlade's back over to Christie. Stojakovic, now Miller. Nobody blocking out number 52. And Miller's got 6. The lead's 18 again.
But it's awfully tough to get into rebounding position when the ball's moving all over the floor.
Foul's going to be on Doug Christie. Brad Miller, there's what he's done. 6 points, 5 rebounds with his brand new team as the Kings have reshuffled the cards, if you will. Some new people, including Massenberg and Peeler and Brad Miller. And, of course, they lost some pretty darn good players. Jimmy Jackson, Hedo Turkoglu, Keon Clark, Scott Pollard. Pollard went to Indiana with the sign and trade with Miller. Keon Clark was a great defender. Jimmy Jackson, I think that's the guy that they're really going to miss. They loved him in the locker room. He was a great offensive player. That's going to be a guy I think they'll miss.
Well, I agree, and like you said, he was great in the locker room. The Kings have always prided themselves about being a family and having great chemistry, and that's something you don't want to mess with. But these other guys like Brad Miller is going to have great chemistry because he does so many other things for his teammates.
What a pass by Vlade Divac to Christie. Just looped it over everybody's head, and Christie's in double figures with 10.
And that was a defensive mistake by LeBron James. That time he was unable to see both ball and man. Got beat back door.
There is Miles gets called for an offensive foul.
Now you watch him here. Doug Christie does a nice job. You just lose a little bit of vision on him. You set him up with that little cut, went right back door. And when you have those big men that can pass over the top of the defenders, they're going to hit you.
And he just did it again, although there was a foul on the baseline to take away the opportunity for the shot.
So the Kings are just doing a good job. They threw the ball on the weak side or the strong side, and they saw the man was fronted, and they just swung it to the weak side to Vlade. Bibby sealed his man and delivered a perfect pass and got fouled.
Bibby's done a nice job offensively tonight, too. 10 points. He and Christie each with 10. Stojakovic has 18. NBA Premier Week continues with a Friday doubleheader on ESPN. First at 7:30 Eastern, it's key NBA shoot-around. Then at 8, Latrell Sprewell, Sam Cassell join Kevin Garnett and the Timberwolves. They'll visit New Jersey. Then at 10:30, AI, Allen Iverson and the Sixers take out the Kings in Sacramento. Friday doubleheader on ESPN.
That's the game I can't wait to see. T-Wolves Nets. Kevin Garnett gets better every single year. He has a legitimate shot at winning the MVP this year, and along with those other guys on the team, they should be improved.
Yeah.
But you got to remember, there's only one ball out there. When you have Cassell with Troy Hudson, he had a tremendous year last year. Wally Serbiak's going to come back with Latrell Sprewell. Where are you going to find enough shots for everybody?
Well, they hadn't been able to get out of that first round of the playoffs. They told Kevin Garnett they'd get him some help, so he signed a contract extension, and by golly, they got him some help. So we'll see how that goes. Bremer hits the outside shot.
Good job by LeBron there, getting the outlet and quickly, not even taking a dribble, firing up to his open teammate for a three.
His second three of the ball game. Bibby, a little runner. Boozer will clear it off. Leads down to 14 with a little over a minute to go. Bremer's going to keep trying until he cools off, but he still hasn't. 7-0 Cavalier run, making it an interesting ball game here in the final minute of the second quarter.
Bremer and the Cavs need to play. I mean, they got so many young players with such great athletic ability. They need to get the ball off the boards and run.
Exactly. When you have those young legs, get out in the open court. Take advantage of it.
Who's Vlade going to pass it to? Well, this time nobody open except Christie outside the three-point line. Now Miller. Boy, everybody just kind of stopped, stood still for a second. Miller seemed to be the only guy still shuffling his feet. He gets the basket and the foul.
And 2 or 3 possessions ago, when you saw the Kings underneath getting those offensive rebounds, you look at the Cavs. They're not putting bodies on anybody. They're standing around. They're expecting everybody else to get the rebound. You can't go into the paint with that type of attitude.
Well, that time Boozer ran out to contest a shot, and nobody picked up Brad Miller, who Boozer was guarding, and just, waltzed down the lane and got the offensive rebound.
It literally looked like a whistle had blown. Everybody but Miller's still moving. 14-point game, final 23 seconds, about a 11-second difference in the shot clock and the game clock. Davis guarded by Stojakovic. Splits the gap, finds Bremer for three. Got it! Big shots off the bench for JR, and it's 63-52.
Excellent penetration and awareness by Ricky Davis. Able to split that double team at the top of the key. You got to corral that guy.
Bibby weaving through traffic, and he got it. Reverse layup over Augustus.
Just a situation there in a simple pick and roll. The big man's got to step up and stop the penetration. Just went over through the big man and got all the way to the basket.
Well, it definitely could have been worse for Cleveland. They found themselves down by 18 points, but they cut it down to 65-52 with a nice run. LeBron James didn't take a shot in the second quarter, but a great first half. Here he is with Jim.
All right, thank you very much, Brad. LeBron, you had 12 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds. How would you assess your first half here in the NBA?
Well, I think I played well, but, I just got to try to get a win out of this. I think we let down in the second quarter a little bit, and they started to make a run, and we don't need that.
What's the problem defensively? It seems as though it's a layup drill almost for the Kings.
I think it's just, the first half jitters. We are coming out and just not playing as hard as I know we can. But we're going to step it up in the second half and give a better effort.
Down 13, can you come back?
Yeah, we come back. We're going to give a better effort in the second half.
Ron, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Didn't even shoot in the second quarter, Dan, and still here's the numbers he's got.
No, like you said, great job. 12 points, 6 for 10, 6 assists, 3 steals. Thought he did a fantastic job of getting his teammates involved. He made some jump shots. I look forward to be a little bit more aggressive here in the second half, trying to get his team back in this game.
As he told Jim Gray going to the halftime break, we got to play better to get the win. That's what he's worried about. We'll see how they do as they open the second half down by 13. The Kings, by the way, shot 63% from the floor. They had it up in the upper 70s for about a quarter and a half. Vlade, that will lower the field goal percentage a little bit.
Looked like he was posing when he shot that.
Here's LeBron James at the point. He played point for most of the first quarter.
Didn't take any shots in the second quarter, though. Like to see him continue to stay aggressive.
There's his first shot of the third, and it goes. Just like that.
Hey, if you have it going, keep shooting the ball.
14 for James.
And he got hot and hit in the eye with that shot. I like a little runner. He came into the lane and threw the little runner up, got hit in the eye and still moved the shot.
Vlade Divac's passing was what really had the Kings going in the first half. And that outside jumper is good to him. He's got 9.
Vlade reminds me of my game. Everything's in slow motion.
Deliberate. That's what we'll call it.
He's just clever.
He might have been, but I was slow motion.
And an offensive foul, clever enough to hold his ground.
Here's LeBron making that move, using his strength and that body to get past Peja Stojakovic, and the nice soft touch in the lane. Not an easy shot. That shows you just a little bit of his scoring ability.
Stojakovic just missed an outside jumper, so the Kings have cooled off here a little bit during the halftime break, and we'll see if the Cavaliers can make something out of it. They trail by 13. Ricky Davis, a double team as Miller comes over to help out. He finds Boozer inside. A little too strong for Boozer.
Well, you can tell looking at this Cavs team, they still don't know how to play if players get double teamed on that team. That ball's got to move around the horn.
Bibby's reverse layup. He has 15. And the lead goes back to 15. Here's LeBron James high off the glass. Got it to go. He's hit his first 2 of the third quarter. He's got 16 points.
Don't tell me that he doesn't have a little junk in his game. He can mix it up. It's a nice soft floater high off the glass.
Wearing Michael Jordan's number 23, says that's the inspiration for the number 23s. Matched Jordan's first game in the NBA. He's just surpassed it. How about that change to the left hand? And you guys are both sitting here just smiling.
That's just athletic there. He went up, saw Brad Miller kind of change in midair and flipped it up with his left hand. So nothing, I mean, we told you this guy was going to be special, and he's showing it all tonight.
Michael Jordan, as I mentioned, had 16 points in his NBA debut. LeBron James has 18 right now here early in the second quarter. Loose ball picked up by Miller. The ball went out of bounds before that shot clock expired. I think they're going to put 1 second back on there. Go ahead, Jim.
Hey, Brad, thank you very much. I talked to Paul Silas at halftime. He said he felt his team was very, very nervous in the first half, with the exception of LeBron James. He told him, guys, relax and have some fun here in the second half. Said we must see the ball much, much better defensively here in the second half to try and stop the layup drill. And finally, he said, guys, don't worry about it too much. They're a very good team. Brad?
They are a very good team. Last year, the second straight Pacific Division title. Their lead, though, has been diced down to 11. They get a second chance here as they got the rebound off the miss by Miller. Now Vlade inside. Vlade Divac has 4 of the 6 points for the Kings in the third quarter. LeBron James has all 6 of the Cavaliers' points in this stanza.
I just love the way they play. There's constant movement by the guards. The big men just stay there looking for the best place to pass the ball. Finally get somebody open and they get an easy ball.
Doug Christie almost stole it from LeBron James. He almost took it as an affront to his talent, and he found the ball and got the alley-oop for his 7th assist.
But once you make that gamble and it doesn't pay off, you're going to pay on the other end. That time LeBron James has 5 on 4 and he makes it work for him.
Easy rebound. Here comes Darius Miles on the run. All the way himself, blocked by Vlade Divac. And it comes off to LeBron James.
And look how he brings the ball out. He keeps his composure. He doesn't try to force anything up.
With the left hand, Carlos Boozer. Boozer having a good ball game. He's got 8.
That's a nice move by Carlos Boozer there, but again, I have to go back to LeBron because lots of young players get that ball, they try to take a shot immediately, he brings it back out, he runs the offense just like a savvy veteran point guard.
Cavaliers on an 8-2 run. Before that shot by Doug Christie, that'll quiet things down a little bit, but remember, the lead in the second quarter at one point was 19 points. Paul Silas is going to talk about it right now because momentarily they had cut it down to 9.
They broke them out tonight. The brand new Nike shoes. They're the Air Zoom generation of LeBron James. They'll be available December 20th. They're going to cost $110. He helped design them. He calls them beautiful aggression. They're a design of the H2 Hummer. And LeBron told me before the game that NBA Charities and PE2Go, which is LeBron's and Nike's charity, will be donating a bunch of shoes throughout the course of the year, as well as to underprivileged throughout the country. Brent?
Jim's just all ticked off. They're not his size.
Can I get a pair?
73-64. I'll tell you one thing. He's not going to sneak up on anybody. There's no doubt about that. Not where he's come out in his debut. 18 points, 7 assists, and no turnovers for LeBron James so far. 7 minutes remaining third quarter. With Jim Gray, Dan Marley, Sean Elliott, I'm Brad Nessler. This is the second half of our ESPN NBA Wednesday doubleheader as Brad Miller goes flying out of bounds with 2 seconds on the shot clock.
Kind of a dumb foul there by Boozer. He had it all set up, and he kind of dove into the back and knocked him out of bounds. But Cleveland's done a better job in this half of not allowing penetration and getting to the basket. A lot of the shots the Kings are taking are outside jumpers.
That's true.
Not nearly as many backdoor cuts allowed.
And Stojakovic fouled by Ilgauskas. That'll be his third. So Peja will go to the free throw line.
Ricky's got to do a better job there. He's much quicker than Peja is, and just let him kind of blow by him, get all the way to the basket, making his Ilgauskas come over and get the foul.
Stojakovic had 14 of those 18 in the first quarter, including a couple of threes. Hasn't scored yet here in the second half until now.
Did I hate guarding that guy?
Same here.
He was unbelievable. Him and Sean Elliott. Sean used to dunk on me more than anybody around.
Oh, you got to be kidding me. You used to throw that ball into me. My ribs would be hurting for the next 3 days. They didn't call Dan Thunder for nothing. You felt like you'd been through a thunderstorm the next day.
James, first time he hasn't had any place to go with the ball. Finally gets some help from Davis, who hit his last outside jumper, but not this time. And the ball will go out of bounds to Sacramento.
You know, Brad, Dan is just being modest. He had a lot of Stojakovic in his game because he spread the floor and he had that range where he's pulling up, shooting the ball 6 feet behind the three-point line. I mean, guys don't like to come out there that far to play you.
And you assume that there isn't anything as insurmountable range, but Stojakovic is one of those kind of guys that looks like he has it. He's won the last 2 3-point shooting contests in the All-Star weekend.
No, it just throws you off when a guy's coming down the court and he stops about 3, 4, 5 feet beyond the three-point line and raises up on you.
James almost came up with a steal, knocked it away. It'll be out of bounds to Sacramento. 6 minutes in the third quarter. An 11-point Sacramento lead. Cleveland has never led in the ball game. Lottie in the low block, trying to wheel and feed it on the baseline, and LeBron James with a steal from behind.
They just continue to stay aggressive on the defensive end that time.
Big outside jumper just inside the three-point line by Ricky Davis. Davis has 12, and the lead is back to single digits again.
And when he can make those outside jumpers, he's dangerous because he's very quick, he's athletic, take the ball to the basket. He starts making those jumpers. He could be a real star in this league.
There's no question about it. But when the Cavs start using that athletic ability on the defensive end, along with some smarts, they're going to be just fine.
Oh, there wasn't a smart move by Boozer. He comes up with a big rebound, and then he gives it to Christie. And Stojakovic will be the recipient as he lays it in for his 22nd point. So there went a 4-point swing that really could have given the Cavs a big boost.
And that's what he does well. He's not only a great outside shooter, but he moves well with the ball and without the ball. He can go either way. That time he went left and laid it up. A nice little left-handed layup.
LeBron James looking for a pick from Boozer and tries to get it right back to him. And the hook pass has so much zuzu on it, it goes flying off 2 or 3 guys out of bounds. So 7 seconds on the shot clock.
Well, he definitely tried to squeeze a rocket through that gap. But that just shows you Guys like that, you always got to keep your hands up. You always got to be aware when they have the basketball.
Ricky Davis looking up on the other end of the shot clock with 4 over Christie, and he airballed it over to Bibby. Bibby looking to run, but the Kings don't have numbers. Stojakovic behind a Miller screen. Rimmed out a 3. Boozer will clear it off.
LeBron did a good job of fighting through that screen and got a hand up to Stojakovic's face. It's just enough to make him miss the shot.
Ricky Davis had that one halfway down, and it spits back out to Divac on the rebound, and now Christie pushes it ahead to Miller, and he's hammered underneath. Miles and Davis both got a piece of Brad Miller.
I was just about to say that this game lost a little bit of its intensity until that last foul. You see LeBron here doing a nice job on Stojakovic. And there he continues to fight through that screen and doesn't allow Stojakovic a wide open bucket. A little frustration on the other end as he doesn't get the ball. But he did a nice job that time playing defense.
Brad Miller will go to the free throw line. Catch the NBA on high-definition television on NBA TV Saturday at 10 Eastern. LeBron and the Cavaliers visit the Portland Trail Blazers. That's the Cavs and the Blazers Saturday, 10 Eastern on NBA TV. Miller got them both. Double figures for Brad Miller. All 5 Kings starters now in double digits. They lead by 13 with 4:13 remaining in the third quarter.
Yeah, I'd like to see LeBron take Bibby in the block one time. He hasn't taken him down low one time tonight.
That time he tried to go over the wrong guy, Vlade Divac, and found the immovable object in front of him, missed the shot. But there is a foul underneath.
And you're right, and one thing I'd like to see him do more of is to get to the free throw line. He hasn't been able to get to the line at all, and I know in the preseason, as the preseason got on, he started to go on the free throw line. At the beginning, he wasn't getting there at all. With that size of a body and that athletic ability, he's got to start taking the ball to the basket and either finishing hard or getting fouled and getting some easy points from the line.
Exactly. And he's got so much size over Bibby. Height, strength. He's got to take these little point guards in the block and punish them, put them in the torture chamber.
Bremer just checked back in for Cleveland as Miles will sit down. And Bremer was a spark plug offensively with 11 points in the first half. So he had the shooting touch, especially in the second quarter. Ilgauskas got both. He has 9. And the lead is 11. Bibby's got 15 points. Christie 12. Stojakovic 22. Miller 10. Divac 11. There's your 5 starters for the Kings. Bibby all the way through. Missed the shot though.
Boozer just came and threw his hip into Vlade Divac, knocking him over.
There's Bremer who's trying to pick up where he left off in the second quarter. Misses it, but Boozer's there to clean up. And now Carlos Boozer's in double figures with 10. And the lead's back to 9. They keep hanging around.
You're right, Sean. Boozer went in and laid a whole lot of wood on Divac. He's still not feeling good down there.
Yeah, he threw that right gluteus maximus into him. Vlade didn't know what hit him.
Miller trying to weave through traffic, and he's fouled.
Fantastic move there. He gave a little up fake, got the guy up in the air, and went right around him and drew the foul.
And Ilgauskas has 4 fouls now for the big 7'3" center. Here's the play the guys are talking about. As Boozer gave him the hip check.
And a little elbow.
And Vlade goes right into the basketball support and sat there really until the play went down to the other end of the floor.
Boozer did exactly what he was supposed to do. Ilgauskas went over for the block, and Boozer cracked down and boxed out Vlade Divac and gave him a nice, clean, legal shot, Sean. Which I like.
Everybody sees
Was that you all over again, Dan?
Oh, good. I'm starting to sweat thinking about that. I like doing
Vlade can go rest that rear end over on the bench for a second as Massenberg will take his spot. Miller, meanwhile, has hit 3 straight free throws here in the last couple of minutes to make it a 10-point game. And now 11 again.
Miller, a great shooting big man, especially the free throw line. He shoots like 80% from the line, and I'm just been impressed with his game. He's really going to make this team a lot better.
When you have a big man that can shoot free throws, it's an added bonus because those guys are getting offensive rebounds during the paint. They're getting fouled a lot. Get a lot of free points.
3 on the shot clock. Bremer's going to have to launch one. In and out.
That's where that youth hurts him. That's where Bremer needs to go back down to Carlos Boozer, repost that ball, let him work again.
Bibby around Boozer. Kick out. Stojakovic gave up a shot. Christie won't. Now LeBron James. Whoa. A lightning pass to Bremer, and he got a three. There's another assist.
Just love his game. For 18 years old, he's so composed. He plays under control. There he went up in the air, knew exactly where the guy was in the corner, gave him a perfect pass.
Tell you what, I've seen people 23, 24 years old that don't have the kind of court awareness or the intelligence on the court to run that position, and LeBron James making it look easy.
Bibby's outside shots look good tonight. He's got 17. Well, 10-point game, 2 minutes left, third quarter.
The big men for Cleveland are doing a good job at all in the pick and rolls, either stepping up and getting up to stop the jump shot, or stepping up and not allowing them to drive around all the way to the basket. They got to do a better job of showing and helping the little men on the screen and rolls.
Again, Davis finds himself with 5 on the shot clock. Bremer's going to have to be the man again. Well, maybe not. LeBron James. And he was fouled outside the three-point line just before the shot clock expired.
Great call. Great call. Stupid play by Christie, but a very good call because he did hit him right on the arm when he went to shoot.
Welcome back to Sacramento. The Kings lead by 10 as we're nearing the end of the third quarter. I'm Jim Gray. Chris Webber is the mainstay of the Kings. He's missed 43 games in the past 2 years, had knee surgery in June. Chris, how you feeling, and what's the prognosis for your comeback?
I feel good as I can feel right now. I'm just working hard and praying a lot, and we'll see how it goes. But I feel good, and I can't wait back to get on the floor healthy. I haven't been healthy in 3 seasons, so I can't wait to play above the rim again.
Do you have a timetable of when you expect to be back out here?
If it was up to me, I'd be playing Friday, but I have to go see Dr. Andrews in Alabama, and hopefully he'll give me some type of progress on what I'm doing, and hopefully soon I'll be ready.
I know it's been exciting for you to watch LeBron, as it has been for everybody else. 18 points, he's on the line right now. What do you think about his game?
I think he has a very mature game, and coming in as 20-year-old as a rookie, I know the pressure that it has, and I think he has a lot of pressure, so I hope he does well unless he plays the Kings.
All right, we look forward to your return. Thanks very much.
Thanks. Hey, Colton.
All right, back to you, Brett.
Now, Dan wanted to see LeBron at the free throw line. He's seen 2 misses in 3 attempts. Upcoming is the third. This can cut the lead down to single digits again, and he got 1 of 3. So 19 points for LeBron James to lead Cleveland in scoring so far, and it's 83-74. Chris Webber, that knee surgery, also had some holes drilled in the area, the top of the femur, to try to let the blood flow back through there and get some normal healing. And so it's a procedure that's taken a little bit longer than your normal arthroscopic situation. Bremer leaves it for Boozer. And all of a sudden, Cleveland's in the hunt.
And give the big dog a bone, because Boozer came up with the block that started that break, and then he finishes the right way.
This is as close as they've been in a long time. Since it was 10-4 in the first quarter, this is as close as Cleveland's gotten. 46 seconds remaining, 5 on the shot clock in the third quarter. Christie misses outside. The rebound is Cleveland's. Jop with the board.
Again, Cleveland's doing a good job of not letting the penetration as much as they did in the first half, making Sacramento take a lot of outside shots and getting the board to come down, setting up their offense.
Cavaliers 10 of 19 this quarter. Davis cut off, scoops it inside to Boozer, though, and Boozer back-to-back buckets by the former Duke star. And he has 14 points.
And they're sharing the basketball. Boozer, the recipient of 2 nice passes. First J.R. Bremer, then Ricky Davis.
And Boozer did a good job of making sure he got into an area where Ricky Davis could find him there, because he had a pretty good double team there on the baseline.
Kings can play for the last shot. Final 5 seconds. This one slapped out of there, though, with 3.5. Was that Jop or was that James that got that?
That was James.
Guys are swarming over that basketball.
Final 3.5 seconds of the third quarter. Stojakovic, the guy you'd like to have handle it's going to have to fade over a double team, and he missed it. So Cleveland with a nice run there in the last couple minutes of the third quarter. I don't think it was ever like this in Akron in high school. 17,000 plus up during that third quarter break. But LeBron James has been equal to his debut's task. Boy, I tell you, no turnovers, 19 points. He's done everything and then some from what everybody expected.
And 4 steals.
Not bad.
So he's playing good defense. So he's done it all for the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight.
Davis with a huge shot to open the fourth quarter, and it's a 3-point game.
And that's another guy that's going to be a big key to their success. He's so athletic. He can do so much off the ball. Those 2 guys together could be scary.
14 for Davis. 83-80. The Cavs with a 14-4 push in the last 4 minutes. Bobby Jackson pushed by Bremer.
Bremer picks up a foul there, but you can clearly see the attention to detail on the defensive end here. No more backdoor cuts, no more layups. All jump shots are contested. You get your young team to do that, you're halfway there.
Darius Singala, another young guy, comes in and he has his shot blocked by Jot. Here comes Cleveland, chance to make it a one-point game. They do. Whoa! Little dipsy-do for LeBron James. He's got 21.
Don't show him everything.
Not in the first
game. We got to look forward to something next week.
Rebound, and it comes off to Cleveland, and it's James in the open floor. Cavaliers have never led. Now they do. Another assist, another three-point bomb by Bremer. It's 85-83 Cleveland.
I saw LeBron James. Either he's finishing or he's giving the ball to the rocks to somebody who can finish.
And you saw him show that emotion at half court. He's fired up. Cleveland Cavaliers are standing up. Their bench is up.
Bobby Jackson misses outside. Bremer with the long rebound. Bremer came by Coach Silas and he just said, okay, now calm down this trip. Boozer on top, feeds it down low to Davis, trying to back in on Wallace, has to give up the ball. Sangala with a steal. Ahead to Stojakovic and Jackson on the run. Tie game.
I tell you what, LeBron looked a little tired that time because he's at the free throw line when that steal occurs and he doesn't get past half court. You got to get yourself back into that play.
First time we've been tied all night. Sangala out of Wake Forest by way of Moscow last year for 1 year with the rebound. Bobby Jackson, what a crossover, and he buries it. Bobby Jackson back-to-back buckets.
And this is what Bobby Jackson does the best. He comes off the bench, he electrifies the crowd, especially in the fourth quarter. He's a clutch player, can do it all, just a scoring machine.
Sacramento 6 players in double figures. They lead by 2, 9:25 remaining fourth quarter.
I tell you what, J.R. Bremer will get his clothes back from Bobby Jackson after the game. Bobby Jackson is undressing people out here.
Here he comes again. That one tapped away from him by Boozer. Nice job defensively. Now he leaves it down on the baseline for Sangala.
Good time for a timeout by Paul Silas. I think the energy of the Cleveland Cavs coming back and making that run the whole week of this anticipation of Bronze's first game may be wearing on him right now. So good time for a timeout for Paul Silas.
LeBron James, 21 points, 9 assists, 5 rebounds, 4 steals, and he still hasn't turned it over. I don't know if he's going to be a legend, but he's got a good start, boys.
He's got a great start, and I think the most important thing for him to do is to try to win this game, which while he's compared to as wants to do, and he's telling his teammates in the huddle, so we got to go out there and win this game.
You know, a lot of guys talk about winning. You hear that all the time, especially with the rookies. I want to win a championship. I want to help my team win. But LeBron has backed up his talk with his actions.
Bremer has hit some big shots, misses that one. Last touch by, I thought, Stojakovic. He's saying Mim. The officials are going to have a little conference over this one, I think. Page looking the innocent party, but I'm pretty sure he's the last guy that touched it. That's the way we viewed it from our vantage point. Rick Adelman doesn't like it. The inbound will come from Miles on the baseline. James straight off the pass, and he hits the outside jumper.
That's a nice rhythm shot there. He doesn't have a lot of time to think about it. It's catch and shoot, and that's when shooters are at their best.
23 points, LeBron James. .820 left, a 2-point Sacramento lead, 89-87. 8 on the shot clock. Stojakovic got 3. In and out on the baseline. Sangala trying to get the rebound, and he got hammered from behind.
So when I see LeBron playing there with Stojakovic, here he is setting a screen. That's the best way to get yourself open. LeBron James able to knock down that jumper. When LeBron is guarding Stojakovic, and I talked with you at halftime about this, Dan, you cannot back off of him. When he passes the ball, the best thing you can do is body him up. You give him a little bit of space. He makes cuts on you, just like this. Frees himself up.
Well, like I said, he's one of the better guys in the league on move, and if you do give him a little space and you turn your head just for an instant, he's going to be by you.
Shot blocked by Miles. Stojakovic takes it off balance. One from deep in the corner, but Vlade Divac keeps it alive. And offensive foul, and Vladdy's going to have a chat with the official. And he better watch out. He's even got his teammates. He's swinging at his teammates. He's hot. He's hotter than the food at his restaurant.
LeBron did a good job here at double team, and he got right in the face, and Vladdy threw an elbow and knocked him down. That's a good call. Good aggressive double team by LeBron James and his Gauskas.
You got to pass it out of there. You can't try to body your way through a double team.
Chance for Cleveland to tie or lead this trip. They're down 89-87. Ilgauskas with a pick. Bremer gave it right back to him. A moving pick, I'm afraid, and that's 5 fouls on the big fella.
And that's Bremer's fault. I hate that when point guards move before the big man's come out there and establish the pick. He moved, so Ilgauskas had no chance to be set, and he caused the big man to have a foul. Point guards have to wait until the guy is set and then make his move.
So he's going to have to come out, and Jop will come back in to take his spot. He sits with 5 fouls with 7:33 remaining. So there went an opportunity for Cleveland to tie it up again. Kings by 2. Brad Nessler, Dan Marley, Sean Elliott, and Jim Gray. And our ESPN crew, second half of our ESPN NBA Wednesday doubleheader. Jimmy Jackson trying to fill it from 18, and he knocks it down.
Again, instant offense, instant energy.
I might have said Jimmy Jackson. I'm sorry, Jimmy, you're in Houston. That's Bobby Jackson. Jimmy was here last year. James.
See, on that play there, I would like to see him go to the bucket. Use that athletic ability. He got a step on his defender. The lane was wide open. Instead, he settled for a fadeaway jumper at the top of the key. Drive that ball down the middle of the lane. Try to finish.
Vlade Divac got that rebound and poked an arm out there, and that's why he was called for the foul. And so he's still upset. He's upset from the last ball called out, and now he's got a second one. LeBron James is coming out. He'll get a quick breather before he's in for the rest of the game. 7 minutes remaining as he goes out. We'll watch that. Sacramento with a 4-point lead as he sits. Davis in the paint. A little short. Peja Stojakovic with a rebound. Jackson trying to push a pass by Bremer and kicked by JR.
Right now with LeBron James out, the Cavs got to find some leadership here to hold the fort down.
Isn't that amazing? We're saying find some leadership when the 18-year-old is on the bench. Vlade, I think that was for some emphasis after the 2 fouls were called on him. He was just going to power one in there. 13.
The guy who hasn't stepped up all night is Darius Miles. He's been out, been a guy that came out of high school. He's the guy who's going to have to step up and help this team win, especially with LeBron on the bench.
Bremer for 3. Got it. Boy, Bremer's hit some big ones.
That pass was there just in time. Bobby Jackson had a beat on it.
Bremer, all second-team rookie selection a year ago, has 20 points. 6 out of 8 from outside the 3-point line. Bobby Jackson answers, not a 3-pointer, but he rattles another jumper home.
Just a terrible job, like I said, on that pick and roll. The big man's got to step up, step right in the guy's face, either make him pass it or go around him. He's just coming off that pick and getting wide open 15-footers.
You can't leave your point guard out there to dry.
And Darius Miles tried to follow his shots to foul Bobby Jackson. That's 3 on him. Sacramento at home leading by 5 with 5:45 remaining in the ball game. It's LeBron James coming out party, and he has come out with 23 points. You wonder about first games for other high school stars. Kevin Garnett, Kobe Bryant, Tracy McGrady, the guys that came straight from the high school ranks and into the NBA. And Amari Stoudemire was Rookie of the Year last season for Phoenix. Well, here's what they did. Kevin Garnett, 8 points in 16 minutes. Bryant McGrady failed to score. Stoudemire had 10 in 20 minutes. I'd say LeBron James came to play tonight. He's still on the bench. I thought he'd come out after that timeout. He's got 23 points in 37 minutes.
Well, you saw that list. The only one that could really approach him physically is Amari Stoudemire.
They're both freaks in nature. I can tell you. I know living in Phoenix, I've seen Amari Stoudemire play a lot. LeBron's got the same type of body.
You look at that list. I mean, Kevin Garnett, his first year, I could push him all the way out to the 3-point line when he tried to post me. 2 years later, he puts me on the highlight film. I mean, those guys had time to mature. LeBron James, if he puts another 10, 15 pounds on, He's going to be the big O all over again. With athletic ability.
And LeBron is back in.
I thought you were talking about Oliver Miller.
That's a lot of pounds. Brad Miller, that is, misses this one, but he got it back inside, and Vlade Divac playing with a purpose. The 35-year-old in his 15th year has 15 points.
I tell you what, if I'm Paul Silas, I'm thrilled that my young team is in this situation. It's only going to help them grow.
Boozer underneath on a great dish, but he missed in close.
Yeah, I know it. I love that play. Ricky Davis came in. He usually takes that shot. He found a Boozer wide open, gave it to him, and the Kings made a good decision to come over and block that shot.
Bobby Jackson looking for a pick from Brad Miller. Got bumped by Jop. And now Vlade in slow motion driving the lane. The ball came loose. Out of bounds to Cleveland.
He's clever.
Clever, that's right. We said clever and deliberate. That sounds better than slow. You guys come up with a good adjective. I like that. 4:25 to play.
He just fools you into thinking that he's slow. Next thing you know, he's laying the ball up on you.
That guy's not slow.
Wow.
And that's what he's got to do more often, because with his size and ability and his leaping ability, he can get in that paint and just jump over people. Great move by him.
6 in the fourth quarter, 25 for the game.
Yeah, he's going to go down the lane and realize one day that he can dunk that ball. And next thing you know, guys are going to be terrified when LeBron James gets a step on him.
Under 4 minutes, 6 on the shot clock. Jop trying to push Vlade Divac out there. Push too much.
Here he has taken a great move by Walsh, gets a stick by Boozer, and takes it all the way to the basket. And I've yet to see any of these veteran guys lay the wood on James like they said they would. I think he's a little bigger than they thought he was.
Exactly. A little more talented.
Yeah.
There's his numbers by quarter. Didn't take a shot in the second quarter. Vlade at the free throw line. 71% free throw shooter last year. 1 for 1 from the stripe tonight. He knocks that one down. 16 points for him. NBA Premier Week continues Thursday on NBA TV. The Clippers meet the Supersonics live from Japan at 5:30 a.m. There you go. Wake up for that one. Thursday night on TNT, it's the Nuggets at the Houston Rockets and the Cavaliers at the Suns. Coverage starts at 8 Eastern. Friday on ESPN, we've got the Nets hosting the Timberwolves and the Sixers visiting the Kings. A doubleheader. Our coverage starts with the pregame festivities at 7:30. Vlade Divac hits them both. It's 99-92, 7-point game. Davis misses outside, and Christie will clear it off. And now the opportunities are going to become few and far between for Cleveland here as they try to somehow, on the road, upend a team that doesn't lose often in their home openers.
That's a tough shot for Ricky Davis in the guts of the game. Like to see a little bit more ball movement before that ball goes up.
Christie inside. Challenging the big guy. Jop got a piece of it, and now Vlade goes back up with the offensive rebound, and he's hammered again.
See, Vlade knows that he doesn't have that leaping ability anymore. He comes down with that offensive rebound. The best thing he can do is throw his body into the younger, taller Cavs players and try to get himself to the foul line.
Did you see any more? When did he ever have any leaping ability? But the reason they're getting so many offensive rebounds doing that because they're constantly penetrating, and the big men have to come over to try to stop the penetration, which leaves that guy wide open for the rebound.
We can say all we want about Vlade, his age, his speed, his lack of jumping ability, whatever you want to say, but he's got 18 points and 7 rebounds. Not bad for the old man, huh?
As Doug Christie said, he's no Ferrari.
That's right. More of a pickup truck. There's a guy that's a sports car, but he's on the sideline and will be for the next month.
That's how it always is with those expensive sports cars.
He may be one of those Jaguars you got taken to the shop every week.
There goes your chance for a free car. 3:12 remaining in the ball game. 100-92. LeBron James, 25 points with Doug Christie, first team defensive player on it. Let's see what he does. Here he goes. Leaves it for Boozer. And an offensive foul.
See, I don't like that call. Because either way, he's going to score in the lane.
They lead 100-92 with just under 3 to go.
This is the time of the game where the young Cavs are really going to mature. They're not allowed to make any mistakes here. Got to tighten up their ship defensively.
Boozer blocks Brad Miller. And they get the stop they needed, but they turned it right back over. So they did one thing right, another thing wrong.
And that's where the young players come into play. They don't know exactly when to pull it out. Ricky Davis really had nothing going here. You want to try to be aggressive, take the basket, fumble the ball out of bounds.
And that's that growing, because you're going to go back and you know you're going to look at it in film session and you're going to see your blown opportunities, and hopefully next time you hit the floor you're able to cut those errors out.
Timeout with 2 minutes 32 seconds remaining in the ball game. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. No, we're going to stay here as Paul Silas gets his troops around him. You know, you look at Sacramento, a team that is a veteran team. In fact, one of the oldest teams in the league against the guys in those jerseys that are by far the youngest team in the league. And you say, well, Sacramento should be able to take them to school. Most of these guys didn't go to school, at least not college. Of the starting 5 for Cleveland, they have 4 years of college between the 5 of them. LeBron James and Darius Miles both came straight out of high school. Ricky Davis played 1 year at Iowa. Zydrunas Ilgauskas didn't go to college, and Carlos Boozer's got the most college experience, 3 years at Duke.
That is pretty amazing. I mean,
that's just our academic thing for them, you know.
But this is the time of game when you're going to see a LeBron James maybe try to take over. He's only 18 years old, but in crunch time, this is where you want your leader to take control of the ball and make the plays.
Lottie with the trail pass to Miller. Contested inside, but he got it back and scored.
That's that good Midwest attitude by my boy from Indiana.
That's just heart right there. That's heart. Perseverance. Guy does not give up on the play.
He's still looking for a place to go hunting in Sacramento. Under 2 minutes. It's a 10-point game now, and every shot's going to be big for Cleveland if they're going to have any chance. Stojakovic gets the rebound. And Sacramento, they've won their last 4 season openers. Looks like they're going to make it 5 in a row, and it looks like they'll make it 6 straight wins against Cleveland.
See, I don't like that. The last 2 times down, LeBron James hasn't touched the ball. They had the 2 other guys taking shots and making plays. LeBron's got to have the ball in his hands.
Well, now he's hunting. Miller has 16. Pretty nice debut for him too, huh, fellas?
Yeah, Brad Miller's done an exceptional job tonight. Like Dan was saying earlier, you know, he's going around setting screens for his guards. He's creating havoc out there. It's not just what you see in the stats at the end of the game. He's done so many things for his team.
LeBron James double team, gets it out to Boozer with 2 on the shot clock. Carlos missed the shot. Brad Miller the rebound.
No, the Cavs had a chance to win this game. They really did. They just came down the stretch, did not execute on the offensive end. They did a pretty nice job defensively, but you got to get better looks at the bucket.
They actually got a 2-point lead in this quarter, but Sacramento showing their wares now, and Bremer fouls Mike Bibby.
And plus, it's got to be relief. I mean, there's so much build-up to this game for LeBron James. It's finally over. Now they can go about getting their business done. They're going to go on to Phoenix tomorrow, and there's going to be a packed crowd there, but it's got to feel good for LeBron to get that first game out of the way and to be able to perform the way he did tonight.
You know, we talked with Brad Miller, Doug Christie, and some of those guys about the fact that, have you talked about the fact that LeBron James is making this big splash of a party? And Brad Miller says, well, if he comes across the lane, we'll welcome him to the NBA. But they said they really hadn't talked about it that much. You wonder if that's a truthful answer or not. They know that nobody's come into the league with as much hype as he has. And I'm sure they've been impressed with what they've seen tonight. But the important thing for them is they're going away without their star, Chris Webber, and they're going to have a very convincing win, even though this guy and his teammates, the youngsters from Cleveland, put on a pretty good show.
And that might have been his first turnover of the night, and it wasn't a bad pass.
Second turnover. Well, the other one was that pass that Sean liked, and they called it charge,
Again, I hate that. I mean, how can a guy in the NBA pick up a charge 2 or 3 feet away from the bucket?
I never had to worry about it. I never took off 2 or 3 feet from the bucket.
Sacramento will make it 19 straight wins against teams from the East here at Arco. They won all of them last year, 15. 3 the previous year, their last 3 against Eastern Division opponents, and now they'll make Cleveland their 19th straight victim from the East. Stojakovic outside. It's all academic now, final few seconds. But, folks, you saw LeBron James debut. That probably is his last shot of the night. It's an air ball. And he'll hear about that, but I don't think he's going to hear about anything else, because that's the only razzing he's been able to take from 17,000 fans, because he's been brilliant.
I tell you what, Brad, he's much better than I thought he was going to be, and I'm going to tell all the NBA players right now, he's much better than you think he is.
I think all 3 of us are in agreement. We kind of looked at each other at halftime and said, Dan said it best, said, hey, he's pretty good. He is pretty good.
LeBron, you had 25 points and 9 assists tonight. What's your assessment of your first game?
Well, you know, I think I could have helped my team a little bit more, you know, down the stretch. You know, I think, you know, once they start making a run, I could have been a little bit more aggressive. You know, just try to pull out a victory, you know, try to steal one on the West Coast. You know, it didn't work out our way, but we got another game tomorrow. We're going to try to get one tomorrow.
Were you tired?
No, I wasn't tired at all. You know, once I got my second win, you know, I was all right, and I was able to finish the game. And, you know, that was the main key ingredient of our team. You know, just trying to play the whole game with our main people and see if we can get a win.
Did you surpass your own expectations on an individual level?
Well, you know, I tried not to think about that, you know, with a loss. You know, I thought we really had an opportunity to get this win tonight, and it just didn't go our way.
All right, LeBron, we appreciate your time.
All right, thank you, Jim.